Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Game 4, Liquid vs Na'Vi. So far, trading games. Na'Vi take Game 1, Liquid take Game 2, Na'Vi Game 3. It's Liquid's turn to hopefully take a game, force a Game 5. It's a best of 5. We play Dota 2 loser bracket final.
If experience and history is our guide, I'm seeing a pattern here, gods. Yeah, maybe Liquid takes this Game 4, forces a Game 5. It's been a story of he who has the most Necrobooks, the best pushling lineup, wins so far.
Yeah.
Will it be the case again heading into Game 4? I'm curious to see if anyone can figure out a way to deal with it. Na'Vi tried to with their mass diffusal blade strategy in Game 2. And I think they actually, to me, out of all the games that have been lost, that was the game that the losing team was actually closest to winning, was that Na'Vi Game 2.
Yes.
A few more fights going the way. I think they actually take that and just 3-0 sweep Liquid.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
It was a very, very close game. But the Na'Vi games so far, both of theirs, I feel, were fairly one-sided affairs. But still, like, Liquid put up a good fight. And it's one of those things where once Na'Vi get a small lead, they're one of the best teams actually snowballing out of control and ending the game fast. They like to say, hey, look, why take it late game where one mistake costs you the game when you can just win early, just be aggressive, where, hey, you make a mistake, you respawn fast because it's early to mid-game, and you just go at it again.
Absolutely. So we now hop into the draft for game number 4, and it's the Lich era, I suppose you could call it, with either first picked or banned by these teams. And Na'Vi snap it up right away, but already Liquid have, I wouldn't say fully laid their cards on the table, but you know which direction this draft is going. It's early Necrobooks, it's early pushing. They can back off for a harder carry and go for some late game, backup insurance, but if they want, they can go for the Death Prophet later on. It almost forces Na'Vi to start banning heroes like that, which, hey, means Liquid can say, you know what, we don't need to go 5-man push. We can get a Lone Druid here, we can get a Gyro. The one thing that I'm just not sure about is this Mirana pick. But we've seen both teams going for it a lot as a carry, but I'm just not really convinced, Scott, especially against pushing strats. What does Mirana really offer you? Moonlight Shadow Initiation is cute, but when the enemy team is a gem or sentries, doesn't do much. You arrow, but you can't go in on these lineups that have 4 Necrobooks and Death Prophet all in another ward. You just die if you take that fight. I wonder if we're going to see more Mirana, but I feel the teams are overvaluing it a bit, and especially Liquid, because this is not the first series they've favored Mirana. It's like every series they go for it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's going to be the carry of choice this time around. Na'Vi, for now, they're definitely not going to ban the Mirana, I feel. They'll ban the Nature's Prophet, maybe the Death Prophet.
Maybe even the Lone Druid.
Yeah, Lone Druid. They want to ban entirely pushing-based heroes. They know, I mean, it's not going to be an all-in push from Liquid, but Liquid want to have the option to go for a push, go for a number of Necrobooks, and just take those fights. For Na'Vi, the Clockwork's going to be the kind of different pick that they add on to their lineup to maybe deal with the push here, but if your opponents get the fast Necrobooks, Clockwork hooking, if he's underfarmed, he can not fight, and he will just melt to any sort of nuke damage, which is what Visage gives you.
They tank battery assault damage as well. I mean, they neuter Clockwork in particular as a hero. They can even block hooks, so... As for Liquid, I do want to point out before we get too far into the draft that I really like the Timbersaw ban. You brought it up after Game 4. Funnick has been a beast on the hero, and the hero is just a beast in this patch. So banning the Timbersaw, he's also I think he's the single best offlaner against push strats. Timbersaw's not good at breaking the base himself, but he's very good at defending against pushes with Chakram, his mass AoE, and his ability to push out lanes with Boots of Travel and then come to the fights later on, which we saw last game helped them take it. Liquid gonna ban Ardendi Invoker, which makes me a very sad panda. But
showing some respect.
That's a respect ban.
I feel Na'Vi with a Clockwork draft, they don't want to take it too deep into the mid game, because that's where Liquid, once they have their Necrobooks up, they have their mech, they're just 5-man. It's gonna be too hard for a Clockwork to deal with. They want to try be super aggressive as soon as Clockwork hits level 6, because it's not until that sort of 15-20 minute mark where Liquid even come close to any Necrobooks, and Clockwork hits level 6 well before. They should look to get aggressive, go for something like an Enchantress or something, I feel here, and just take the fight to Liquid, which is where I feel the Lich maybe doesn't suit that style all too well. But
yeah, what's he going to do?
It gives him a decent laning stage, but yeah, apart from that, it's kind of a passive hero, which isn't great against push strats.
And Liquid have already gone Chen, so you know what's coming your way if you're Na'Vi. They could pick a better carry to deal with the push, like Gyro instead of Mirana, I think would help.
I think you have to go for something like a Gyro instead of Mirana, otherwise it's...
Even then, I mean,
screwed.
Even then, you get a BKB on Gyro, and he can maybe kill 1 or 2 Necrobooks, but they have 800 health, plus all the armor that generally comes out, the early mech, potentially a Vlad's. They end up having, maybe even 1,000 effective HP to physical damage, so...
I'm not sure what the answer to this kind of a Liquid draft is going to be. There's no obvious ones.
I almost want to...
That was not an obvious one.
This is, I think it's almost, well, Gyro's a bit, he comes online sooner with BKB. His nukes do more early on, but Stone Gaze is one of the hardest abilities in the game to push into. You try and directly frontally assault a Dusa, She stone gazes you, you all get stunned, sets up a chain frost, may set up a fissure or a clockwork hookshot. I'm curious, but I think this could be a good hero to stop the push.
I still prefer. I definitely prefer the Jark. Medusa, like you say, it comes online much later.
Yeah.
Mana burn from the Necrobook screws over your mana shield as well. I feel like it's not actually that good of a counter to the Necrobook Dota. In your split shot, sure, you maybe want to kill the Necrobooks, but if you kill off those the melee ones, you just end up killing yourself.
And Dusa does not go for BKB, unlike Gyro. Generally, you can, but it's very unusual, which means the Necrobooks will hurt her quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like this Medusa pick. We'll have to see how it works out. I hope Na'Vi proved me wrong, because we've yet to really see Medusa make a big splash in the 6 points, or even in the metagame at all since being added to CM.
There was one game where shortly after Elder Titan's release, it was even in 6.78, Liquid ran it. There's the Elder Titan mid, which was really the star of the show, but they had this Naga Siren Dusa combo. You song, you set up your Stone Gaze. It was
that
cute.
could have been any carry hero. Like I remember watching that game afterwards and thinking that could have been any hero. Any carry hero in the pool, and it was just Bulba controlling the game from start to finish.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. They get themselves an Enigma.
They'll go greedy themselves. And this is the other way. You don't want to go aggressive. You have to go greedy. So Enigma in the jungle for Puppey. Lich will give him a really good laning stage. Probably even be like a Lich. Like, I guess Lich can help out Medusa in the safe lane, but may even just go top with the Clockwork. And then Dendi, control the game, some kind of a snowball mid.
And they've got some setup here for the Enigma Black Hole. Stone Gaze, fantastic setup. And if you overextend and you get 4 or 5 hero Black Hole, you can easily die to that. So what is Havos going to play? Havos is going to play the Medusa, but what is Dendi going to play, I guess, is the question now. I still feel they're a bit lacking on damage and just general AoE lockdown here.
You know what hero I do? Burst. There's one hero I do like against pushes, and that's Pudge.
5 seconds remaining.
I think Pudge actually does pretty. It's the kind of
the one thing is he's not good against mass necros and Chen creeps because there's so much stuff in the way.
You have to be in position before they actually get to the high ground on your base. You hook one in before the push begins. But yeah, there's definitely a lot to block the hook.
Oh, the Tinker, a little taste of LGD International here coming to. I mean, Bulba's been playing this for ages. He kind of introduced Tinker into the competitive metagame in Dota 2, figured out how you can stack Ancients and farm them with March. Later got nerfed a bit, but it's still quite a strong strategy. Even though we normally think of Tinker as a counter pusher, to me he's actually a pusher in this lineup. Like, you lay down 2-3 March of the Machines, good luck for Na'Vi fighting into that.
This draft is just yucky from Liquid. I mean that in a way. It's gonna be very hard to deal with for Na'Vi.
They may feel a little dirty if they win this game, gods, but a win's a win.
They're gonna have to wash their hands many times.
There's no washing this one off.
The Necrobook though was the Brewmaster for Na'Vi. This is the hero I've missed. You know, I had a bit of a talk with Lumion. It's like, Dispel from Panda could be a Necrobook counter. It's not really. It doesn't do that much damage to Necrobooks.
No.
It's also got a very long cooldown. I hope they actually buff Dispel just to make Brewmaster like the Necrobook counter hero. Like, give Dispel a 0 cooldown or something, just so you can counter
a 0 cooldown? What? So you can kill 6 Necrobooks in half a second?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, come on.
You need some. If it's one hero that counters Necrobook, so if you want to go Necrobook strat, you have to ban Brewmaster. Otherwise, like, I don't know. Maybe not 0 cooldown, but definitely I feel like Dispel needs to be buffed on the Primal split.
That would also really hurt, like, Warlock a lot. You would never see play against Panda. But,
you could just make Warlock thing, like, immune to Dispel or something. I don't know.
Either way, yeah, Panda. I'm excited for the new Panda. We got to see the new Ags once so far. It was not as effective as what you would hope for, to be honest, but they did win that game. But I didn't think the new Ags really made a big difference. Still, though, now Na'Vi have the kind of 5-man lineup that you push into this, gods. If you get caught by Stone Gaze, Hookshot, Panda Initiation, or Black Hole, like, if any of these heroes get a good initiation, the rest just pile drive in, and Liquid will get eviscerated.
And they haven't got that instant stun or silence, like no Orchid hero, no stun hero to actually stop Dendi getting off a blink, clap, primal split every time. Like, if you have a lineup with a silence, you blink in, you have to go, like, sometimes straight ulti, just to make sure you can get it off.
They are actually putting Bulba on the Alchemist mid. I did not expect this, to be honest. Quakeva has played a lot of Tinker for Mouse. He did go offlane, but
he's going some quasi-ancient stack. He's going to at least stack Ancients here.
You know, it reminds me of Zenith. Like, Zenith back when they were still playing before TA3, they had 3 Invoker players. You had Yamate, you had Ice, you had or XY, rather. And, like, for Liquid, they have 2 Tinker players. Normally, you just have your 1 designated guy on most teams. But, yeah, they're going to throw... Well, it's not a curveball, because Na'Vi will know now that Quakeva's on Tinker. It is in the off lane, and I imagine they're probably going to ward these Ancients quite early on.
Yeah, well, Tinker has the Sentry Wards prepared. We'll introduce our 2 teams. Over on the Dire side, down a game now, 2-1. It's Team Liquid. Quakeva on your off lane Tinker. He's going to be looking to kill off some Ancients as much as possible. Bulba on the solo mid Alchemist. Way2 playing the Chen in the jungle. We're going to see TC on the farming Pugna, and that leaves Fluff and Stuff on the support Visage.
As for Team Na'Vi, they dropped Game 2, but they've bounced back in Game 3 to secure a 2-1 lead. We have Funnick as your offlane Clockwork. Doesn't get the Timbersaw again, but he gets a creep denied, and he cog blocks his own creeps, and this is going to make his lane much easier. Kuroki, your support Lich, heading towards the middle lane. Dendi has had a creep tonight as well. Both of their solos getting a nice little boost. The Lich Enigma strat. You know, the more fun thing to do is to put them both in one lane and just make the enemy carry very sad. But this is probably the more balanced approach. That also throws Havost onto your Medusa, and last but not least, it is Puppy on the jungle Enigma.
All right, well, the big thing is here, I feel Na'Vi, their offlane is going to get so much. Funnick has the creep wave essentially at his tail. This is like where your safe lane creep wave is. This is huge.
He had an interesting cog there. He used it like super early on the high ground. Generally, you see players wait until it's like more down the lane, but the creeps took a weird path. They ran like up and around the cogs because he ate the back cog.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a more effective way to cog block, and just a small innovation from Funnick, but paying off nicely for him.
Yeah, he finds himself starting off with a 1v1 lane. Chen's going to be in the jungle. Fluff actually harassing mid with the DD room, which I like because of where Funnick's position, but takes a bit of damage from Fluff and Stuff now rotating back top, but this creep wave's still in a pretty decent position for him. As for the offlane for Liquid, they've got Tinker, who's actually getting experience and also into farm range here, so he's not really being pressed out of the lane. Lich, not really a good zoning support, and Enigma, of course. Puppy, he just wants to farm in the jungle.
Once it hits like the 5 to 6 minute mark, that's where Koikfa will likely be playing a lot more defensively, but he knows for now he's quite safe, and they're unlikely to get those early kills. Even Medusa is just awful at getting kills early on, so without a lot of lockdown. Our mid lane is the Brewmaster versus the Alchemist. There was a Lich here earlier, but yeah, Dendi seems to be struggling quite a bit. He's got a magic stick. He's waiting for his bottle, whereas Bulb already has his out. He's actually thinking about trying to make a run for the top rune, but for now he just wants to find a place that's not acid spray to farm.
Yeah, the acid spray very annoying for the Brewmaster. He's going to have the bottle and the bottle crow coming up soon, but for now, Koikfa with a haste rune at bottom lane does cop a frost blast to the face there, but he's going to be okay. Still getting some decent experience out of this lane.
Yeah, Koikfa it's an offlane Tinker, and normally you'd look at Tinker and say this is a weak offlaner because he's squishy, he's immobile, but with the haste rune and just considering how Na'Vi drafted, it's actually a smart way to lane him. And so far, haven't seen Ancient stacking, also haven't seen him get warded by Na'Vi, which is interesting, but now they've seen the sentries on Koikfa, and they may just figure it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been Ancient stacking. I guess it's well worth getting the experience from the lane now that it's not really being pressured out of the lane. And Enigma Puppy will look for like a smoke gank to push a lane once he hits maybe level 6, so Liquid should know that Puppy probably not going to rotate until around the 5-6 minute mark. Generally as Enigma, you don't want to gank around the level 3-4 mark. It just slows down your jungle farming too much.
As for Funnick in the offlane, he's level 4, so both offlaners getting, like, I almost want to say like away with murder in this patch, where we've seen just offlaners, like, sure, they're getting more decent amount of times, but we've seen a lot of smoke ganks. We haven't seen too many greedy junglers like Enigma. It's a lot more Crystal Maiden, Enchantress, early to mid-game, like, first 5 minutes kind of aggression, but not the case here, so Koikfa gets a lot out of his lane. Funnick gets a lot out of his.
I think Koikfa thought this was blocked, because he just went all the way through the... Was it actually blocked? I didn't see.
I did not see it, no.
He, like, tinkered his way through here looking for the Observer. I think maybe he missed a stack, like, mistimed a stack, but somehow thought that Na'Vi had blocked it.
Well, actually, you know what? No, Kuroki's ward is top. So, yeah, they'd never actually blocked it. I thought maybe it just gone to place one, but yeah, they never blocked it. He just, well, he wastes a sentry, not the biggest deal. But
yeah,
it does mean he's missing his stacks, which I think is the bigger problem.
It was just like in the trees, copping a lot of damage from these Ancients. It's just very strange. But, well, as things stand here, both teams, they're trading farm on the carries. Here's Medusa at bottom lane, free farming away. And then on the other side, Liquid, you've got TC farming on a Pugna.
Could be in a bit of trouble here. There's no troll trap. They did have 3 heroes close, but they're not close enough, I guess.
Yeah, these rotations need to be successful for him. Dendi now sees this illusion rune gonna get denied just in time.
What a pain in the ass.
He like hesitated for a second there, and that cost him, but he can bottle Crow now. The courier's at mid regardless, and he'll send that back. It's not going to hurt him that much. The illusion rune wouldn't have been that valuable of a pickup.
So for Na'Vi, they went greedy with this draft, and so far, they're getting farm on 4 heroes. Even the Lich is 6 CS. I think Na'Vi have to be pretty happy with the way this game's developing. But that could all change when Liquid starts to push. When the Boots of Travel come out on Tinker in maybe 5 to 8 minutes, when you have your Pugna with an early mech, then things could get dicey. But for now, I think Na'Vi, they're happy they went greedy. They're getting a lot out of this laning stage, and even winning the laning stage against such a strong early game lineup from Liquid is quite a good start for them.
Yeah, it looks like it was a bit of a clash at bottom lane. Koikba had to go back to base to heal, and at the same time, Havos very low and also out of regen here. He needs to be careful because, well, Tinker's not here at the for the time being, but if he was with a couple points in laser on heat-seeking missiles, it could be a kill.
Yeah, Koikba has finally gotten his first stack. He'll start spamming March immediately. He goes for the quick soul ring rather than bottle, which you'll see more often mid, but in the off lane, he knows that Bulba needs to be bottle crowing, and Bulba is the mid solo. So he'll continue to farm and stack the Ancients. Only drops the 1 March for now. Until he has rearm, it does take quite a while to kill these off. And Na'Vi could maybe look to steal them. Like, once Funnick hits 6, they could even smoke gang towards these Ancients. I wonder if they care. They seem just content with their own trades.
Yeah, I don't think they care too much. They may actually go in the bottom lane. Koikva could be in a bit of trouble here. The Frostblast not going to be enough damage here, but they're just zoning Koikva out of the lane more than anything. And Havos picking up the early Ring of Health before picking up his phase boots. That comes as a result of all the harass he took, last hitting under his tower, as well as just Tinker being a bit of a pest in lane. He really needed that regen, and he'll go back for those phase boots once he can afford them.
I do want to quickly note Havos' skill build this game. He's actually gone for 2 points in stats here. Yep. Skipping Mana Shield, skipping Split Shot. Since the changes to Mystic Snake, where it does pure damage when heroes are in Stone Gaze, as of this patch, it seems players tend to prefer the Mystic Snake build. Before that, we'd see just like your Mana Shield and Split Shot max from TC even, for example. But yeah, I am curious to see the stats, because still we've seen quite a few players just getting Mana Shield very early on.
Funnick invis up. He found an invis rune. He's got hookshot level 6 as well, but Bulba spotted this out. There was an observer on the high ground at top for Liquid, and looks like Funnick not going to get too much from it for the time being, but he's going to go in the jungle. We'll find way too here.
Oh, I don't know if he catches way too away from his own creep. He can. Actually, no, he's got the 1 point in battery salt. This will not be an easy kill. He needs help for this, I think.
Maybe we see Brewmaster come in as well. Is he going to actually go for this one? The creep is there, hugging the Chen as well.
And he just got blocked for a split second. Wait, did he notice?
Here comes Dendi. Yeah.
Well, maybe he saw Dendi running in as well.
Yeah, the report from mid lane is that this one missing. So a very just passive, slow-paced early game. Do you feel this favors either of the two lineups? I mean, for Liquid, it feels like they need more time to get their items up, but
I think it favors Na'Vi. Like, they went so greedy this game. They're running, sure, they have a good support in Lich, but they're running 4 cores against a push strat, and Liquid aren't punishing them. They're already down 3,000 experience, 1,000 gold. I give Na'Vi a pretty big advantage here. Yeah. But I think Liquid
especially is huge.
They did nothing to shut down the jungle Enigma. They didn't go aggressive, they didn't contest. And the way the draft developed, when Puppey went Enigma, Liquid really couldn't do anything about it. Yeah. So I just think the way Na'Vi drafted was very smart and solid, and Liquid, they are getting a lot of farm on their Pugna. They'll have a fairly early Necro book for him, and he won't be the mech builder this game. So Liquid going to rely on their push to catch up.
Yeah, and I think that's where, for Liquid, they definitely, it's not, I agree with you, that Na'Vi have the edge here, but there's not much Liquid could have done. Like, they went for this push-type strategy, and that means, well, they've just got to play passively in the early game. They don't have heroes that can really do much in the laning stage, apart from maybe the Chen if he goes for a smoke gank, but it's not like Chen has a support with him who can actually... It's not like it's a support Alchemist or a Rubik to set things up. It's a Visage. All you've got is a Grave Chill, which isn't really that reliable. So if your smoke ganks don't work, you fall really far behind. And they just decide, hey, Chen's better off just trading and being greedy as well.
Well, who's getting more, though? This Enigma's level
Na'Vi,
7.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why they're so far ahead. Is the Chen just has not... We saw way too controlling runes earlier. He hasn't... I don't think he's even found a Wildkin yet this game, judging by his level. Only level 5 at 8 minutes in. And I think the big concern here, guys, is like you look fast forward 5 minutes. Na'Vi are going to have Chain Frost, Black Hole, the Stone Gaze from Naga, Blink, Panda ult on Brewmaster for Dendi. Can Liquid even push into that? Like, can they actually take towers against that many AoE ults?
Buff and stuff is going to get scattered by Puppey here. Koikva as well here. Looks like Puppey may be considering stealing these Ancients. He's got Eidolons with him.
Who's the push team? Havost is about to take a tier 1. He's got Black Hole. I don't know. No, here comes Bulba.
Yeah, he's gone a bit too YOLO here. He warded off the Ancient. He's like, ooh, I've got Eidolons. I can steal these Ancients. And then Liquid's like, that's a pretty easy kill. That's First Blood as well.
What a late First Blood.
Yeah, I about to say, it didn't quite register that that's First Blood, but that's a big gold boost. Going to the Tinker as well. That's Koikva's Boots of Travel.
Yeah, that's a huge item. Definitely the advantage for Liquid there. But Havos did get the tier 1 bottom. Gets the last hit as well. So he's off to a fast start. Still, I think if you're Liquid, you needed that like shot in the arm to kind of build you towards the mid game.
Yeah, normally a small mistake like that from Puppey, like he just got a bit too greedy, isn't too costly, but when it's a First Blood at this stage of the game, it's actually quite a big deal. And
when it gives your Tinker Boots of travel, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Here comes an engagement though. Funnick's in the jungle. He's going to walk right into a Chen, who's going to react first here.
No, just in time.
Just a well, on ward getting dropped.
I think Liquid,
TC just panicked a bit there.
Liquid see the Clockwork come around the corner, and they're like, wait, who else is actually here? This looks really dangerous. Like, where's the Lich who's not quite level 6 actually, but even so, they were really scared when he showed up.
Na'Vi are doing a nice job of just spreading the map while they wait for their core items. Dendy actually went back for Arcane Boots, but he's almost got his Blink Dagger anyway. Only 900 gold away. Chain Frost coming soon on the Lich. Puppey about to have mech. Great items for those mid-game engagements while they just buy time for Avos to farm for the ultra late game.
Yep, and now Na'Vi, the ones who are going to start pressuring towers first. This top tier 1 tower. They've taken one at bottom. They're going to take this tier 1 at top, it looks like. And Liquid just not in position to defend.
Who's the pushing lineup? I have to say again, like, sure, Na'Vi gave him first blood, but they took a tier 1 bottom. Yeah. They take it. The pushing lineup is getting pushed, gods.
Yeah, I think Na'Vi explained the fact that these Necrobook push strats don't really push in the first 10 minutes of the game. They've got to sit back and farm items. I guess you can with a Pugna plus Chen, but Liquid decided to farm their Chen. They could have brought Chen out to the top lane to go for some easy tier 1, tier 2 towers with a Pugna Blast, but they chose not to. They opted to farm, and they're being punished for their greed.
There could be a black hole under the tower here. Malefice. There could be a send back from Quakefoot, or rather from Wave 2 as well. They want to go for Wave 2. They can't have him. They can't have Quakefoot either. He gets sent home. The Hand of God was popped, though. Now Bulba coming in with Tinker back at base, so they actually fight. Dendy was mid-cast animation on his ult. He won't get it off.
Well played by the Chen. That was...
Liquid really played that well.
Yeah. I think they could have almost killed the Tinker there. The sendback was... It's very long.
It's a lower level sendback.
Yeah, level 2 Test of Fate, so it was a very long sendback. Meanwhile, Funnick gets a hook shot here. He's in a bit of trouble, though. He's actually trapped. Alchemist going to stun him up, and there should be enough burst damage to bring down Funnick with ease, in fact.
Na'Vi just... This is what we saw from them in Game 2. Was Game 2 very early on, they were super coordinated, but as the game developed, we saw them kind of getting picked off. It was Havos going in on his own. And this time around, it is Na'Vi Heroes just overextending, not quite grouped up where they need to be. They can afford to give up a handful of kills, but you do not want to give too much momentum to this Liquid lineup, or they will run you over in the mid-game with the Mass Necros, March the Machine, and just a very strong Death Ball.
Alright, well, we'll see what Na'Vi look to do next here. They're giving away a few too many unnecessary kills, it feels like, but they are taking down these towers. They are still ahead by about 3k gold. The experience, less so in their favor, just the 2k lead, but Na'Vi still with their options here, and it's going to come from the Dendy Blink Dagger. That's going to be the tide turner for them. They're going to keep giving space to Havos to just free farm away, but the other 4 heroes can actually take fights a lot easier with a Blink up on Dendy.
They're going to find way to. No, he sends his creeps around the corner. Kuroki in the front lines. He's got Chain Frost now. Does he go? Nova coming out. Dendy heading towards the top lane. He wants TC. Is he going to get off a clap here? No, the ward gets dropped. Now he gets decrepified. He may be forced to ult. He's got an invis, though. Yeah. Should be okay.
Yeah, he's going to back off for the time being. Liquid should see this invis and think, okay, we're going to play very cautiously.
They just need to wait for the blink. Like you said, once he gets it, like then Na'Vi can really force fights.
Yeah. And it's coming up in just 150 gold. So 3-4 more creeps, and Dendy is ready to go.
And I do want to point out, all this time, it's not like Na'Vi are just winning the laning stage. They're running a Medusa, like along with all this team fight. Probably the hardest carry in Dota 2. Definitely one of the hardest. Now they found way 2. Chain Frost was thrown out. Clap as well. The creeps are dropping low. He's still alive. These bounces are not the best, but...
Meanwhile, in the Ancients, Tinker going to just TP out in time. Alchemists are going to start up Funnick, and Funnick's kind of trapped here.
Stone Gaze. Funnick in trouble. Is he going to get out?
There's no way out. I'd be so shocked if he gets out of this one. Liquid now going to farm up the Ancients as well on top of this.
There's your Blink Dagger on Dendy, though. They do. Yep. It's 1 kill for 1 kill. Clockwork for a Chen. Maybe you give a slight edge to Liquid in terms of who died, but in terms of what Na'Vi are getting out of it, they're farming really fast. They didn't lose the Medusa, and they continue to inch farther and farther ahead.
Liquid still do not have a single tower, and sure, you want to wait for the Necrobooks, but wait this much? You've got a Pugna Chen. Like, these heroes do have the ability to push without your Necrobooks. They still don't have a... Okay, they've got the mech as well. So.
Blink, clap initiation. Here comes your first Panda ult of the game. The boulder toss right onto TC. Quick Cyclone up in the air on the Alchemist. The Fire Panda still doing its work. The Wind Panda's already died, though. I don't know if this is enough to get the kill. TC still alive. They need a boulder toss. There's your hook shot from Funnick. What a snipe by him, and they needed that. They get the kill. Now Fluff, he wanders into the middle of the lane. It's like he didn't realize they were here, but actually he's got backup. It comes from Bulba. The Clockwork's going to get killed off. It's a 1-for-1, and they dropped a Panda ult for it. But while that was happening, they are pushing top with the Enigma. And this will be a hard tower to defend. Puppey can just walk under the tower and black hole anyone who comes, and they'll have to send multiple heroes to deal with it.
Yeah, they're going to send, well, just send the Tinker for the timing. I guess with March Rockets, him alone should be enough. Dendy
more heroes
making
coming
his way
though.
Up there. And
Dendy blinking, clap on Fluff. He's isolated him. This is going to be a big kill. They might even get the familiars as well. There's your nuke from the Lich. They bring him down. And it is where Liquid just struggle to punish overextensions. Na'Vi have so many good initiating spells, stuns, whereas you look at Liquid, all they have is the Alk stun. Otherwise, heroes just run away from them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see Dendy continue to farm away. I imagine next item is going to be the Aghanim Scepter for him. Maybe you want to stop off at some of these aura items like your drums or your Vlads, but getting that new Ag Scepter is definitely going to be a nice pickup. And Havos getting so close to that Lincoln.
Did they know that the Panda ult's on cooldown? But I still think Na'Vi can fight without Panda ult. They have Black Hole, they have Hookshot initiation as well. And they may well look to go in.
Just Blink Clap is really powerful as well. That's something not to be messed with. When your Panda Blink Claps in, you can't really focus him because of how tanky he is.
They're coming for a backstab. Liquid don't have wards here. Fluff's going to walk right into 2. They did not see this. Liquid have no vision in their own jungle, but they may know because I think they saw these heroes earlier. They're going to find Dandy. Can he blink away in time? Yes, he can.
Yeah. I'm curious what Puppy's building. He's picked up a Ring of Health.
Is it a Lincoln's? A pipe. Maybe a pipe here versus
that
the
makes
Tinker.
sense. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
I was thinking Lincoln's as well. And I'm
I looked at the line. I'm like, it's not Lincoln's. I hope it's not Vanguard. I hope it's not Vanguard. Okay, pipe makes sense. That's the pieces get put together.
At the same time, it makes him like public enemy #1. Black Hole, pipe, and mech all in one hero. You better focus, Puppy.
Yeah. I would have BKB just to guarantee a Black Hole. I thought would have been nice, but I guess he really wants to have that strong team fight from a mech plus pipe, and well, we'll see both of those 2 items on Puppy probably really early on in the game. This will be like an 18-19 minute mech plus pipe.
We've been talking about Liquid as a pushing lineup, and they definitely are a pushing lineup. But they have some late game here. Phonic was fishing for Koikfa. Blinks into the trees, is able to get out. It is your
Dendy at top is actually getting very aggressive in the enemy jungle. He's taking a lot of damage.
He's got a haste.
Yeah, haste rune will keep him alive.
Calm down, Dendy. He'll be very efficient here with his mana usage. Dropping the Arcane Boots while he uses Bottle, then dropping the Bottle while he uses Arcane Boots, then clapping and running the hell away. But yeah, I mean, Liquid can make something of a transition to late game. They've got a few natural Hex builders. They do have an Alchemist, and they have just the counter push and mobility of a Tinker. I think they go pretty late, but it's just not what their lineup wanted to be doing. Like, they definitely wanted to be pushing around the 15 to 20 minute mark, taking the tier 2s, getting an early Aegis, and at least starting to siege the base.
Yeah, Liquid, it just seems very
They're out of their rhythm.
Yeah, and like you've got a Bulba on the Alchemist solo mid. Sure, he's doing pretty well here. He hasn't died. He's 2-0-3, but he's going to pick up the Shadow Blade fairly early. Oh, the smoke gets revealed.
That's so unfair. They just smoked like 3 seconds. And they actually, I think they saw the smoke. Well, they definitely saw the heroes first with that Observer Ward, but either way, Dendy reveals it. They run away, and Liquid, it seems like the frustration may be mounting a bit here. They wanted to make a play, and just instantaneously, they get boxed in and denied at every corner.
The smoke gank doesn't work. They should say, hey, look, wait a second. Outline is meant to be pushing. Let's actually take some towers. They grouped up at top. It looks like they'll do just that.
Level 2 Panda ult here. There's a Chain Frost here.
This is actually dangerous.
And they may find Fluff. He's smoked, but he's going to walk right into them.
Yeah. Fluff should be able to go down. That'll be an easy pickup for Na'Vi, unless the familiar stuns are going to save his life. He actually pops his Primal Split just to guarantee it because it's a gem. Lich is going to look to go back in and pick it up.
I think he dies if he grabs this. No, he snags it. He's going to run out. Now Dendy's covering the path of retreat. He's still got a Boulder Toss here. Even the courier coming in. That Fire Panda. 2 more hits. He might just get it. I think it's going to be too late. It's going to despawn. And now they found Funnick, who looks like he tried to Rambo in with a hook shot.
Yeah, he used his hook there on something.
But I still feel Na'Vi are not all quite on the same page. Like, he's hooking in while the rest of the team's running, but hey,
end of the day,
they get a gem.
I think this is still Na'Vi victory. They get the kill on Lich, get the gem, and they trade tier 1 for tier 1. And this is a late game Medusa. You're trading Medusa free farm for a Pugna free farm. It's pretty clear which is the better carry hero.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Tinker is going to be much more of like the X factor for Liquid. They need Koikfa to get an early sight this game. He's got the basics, but when you run an offlane Tinker, he's not going to, ball out of control. It takes him a while to come online.
Well, Liquid finally getting some towers to go their way. They're going to get the tier 2 as well as the tier 1. Dendy's going to blink out as Bulba channeling his stun. He's going to stun himself up. No
he actually wants to go back in. No, he's just going to farm.
He wants the creep wave here, but well, Medusa. There's Lincoln's plus Yasha plus Face Boots. This is 18 minutes into the game.
She already starts to hit pretty hard
Normally,
now.
like as a Medusa, you get your Lincolns at 18, 19 minutes. This is a Lincoln's plus Yasha.
And I think the Havosta's farming very well. He's got 7 CS a minute, but they've also taken 3 towers already against a pushing lineup. So between the tower gold, between Havost being, I mean, basically perfect CS. Oh, Courier might die.
Not enough.
Familiars. They're on the hunt. The Weasel Crow being pursued out by the Familiars. They're going to run it down.
Surge it.
Surge it.
Oh, if he didn't.
They were baiting a bit here. Now they come in with the hook shot. Funnick's going to catch out Fluff, but Bulba joins the fight as well. Who's dropping first? It will be Fluff, but it's a Funnick death again. Puppy looking for the black hole. Drops the mech. Black hole. He's going to drop it now. Only catches Bulba. Meanwhile, Koikfa on the sidelines. They try to catch off. They will kill him in the end, and now Havost into the pit. He's got his ult here.
It's not the black hole Puppy's looking for, but just
lane.
killing anyone at this point is good for Na'Vi. Koikfa going to just TP out in time, and
well, they didn't have Chain Frost there. You could have instantly disabled that TP out with the mini stun, but they'll push mid anyway.
It's a kill for your Medusa. It's a kill on the enemy kind of two-position hero in the Alchemist, and I think it's still worthwhile to use that black hole, because that's the first black hole we've seen all game. Liquid are not giving Puppy a single chance to get a black hole off, and if he ever does, if there ever is 5v5 fights, not having a BKB means it's very unlikely you get a good black hole anyway.
Yeah, he's much more important for the pipe, the Malefice stun, and the mech than he is for the black hole.
Na'Vi scout these Ancients, and they say, hey, look, we've got to do so. We can maybe think about doing this. Only level 1 split shot, but...
Maybe. They think. Definitely. They've got Panda ult. They'll blink in, they'll clap and look to kill off these Centaurs. Dendy does get stunned. Has he overextended here? He needs to ult quickly. He can't. Oh, Dendy.
Dendy doing his best solo impression
He did blink into 2 Centaurs. I mean, the plan was, I'm tanky enough to live through this.
Now Lich goes down. Lich gets focused, does drop the Chain Frost, but...
Those bounces! Oh, wait.
If the Tinker was nearby, that would have almost been a kill. That would have been awkward.
Meanwhile, Bulba's on pursuit. He might get a 3rd kill here. There's your stun coming out from the Funnick. Did not drop Cogs in time. No, Bulba doesn't have enough damage. But this is Roche. They just gave away Roche with those 2 deaths.
That was the most important fight Liquid's taken in this game. Getting the Brewmaster and the Lich there, and that was just Dendy getting a bit too greedy there. The Centaur stun catching him by surprise. And, well, Liquid, they're not having... This is still a fairly slow Roche for them, but the Acid Spray going to come in. Now it'll become a lot easier for them. And, well, they buy time, get Tinker more time to get this Scythe of Vice up, get the Alchemist his next big item. And this is where, transitioning towards the late game, you've got an Alchemist who can go to that carry roll. You've got a Tinker with Scythe of Vice, Blink Dagger. TC just becomes that 3-position kind of tanky hero here. He's got a Necrobook, maybe goes for the Ags, maybe a BKB. He's not really even a 1-position farmer anymore. He's a 3-position hero as far as farm priority goes.
Yeah, he won't be the priority moving on this game. He got the safe lane because that's what Pugna needs. He just can't do much in the off lane, but now it's Koikfa as well as Bulba who will look to carry the load. Even the Visage will probably be more important if this game drags on. Liquid do take Roche, but Dusa is still farming. So at 11k net worth, if it comes to a direct engagement, they're going to have trouble dealing with Havost. So I think what Liquid are going to look to do is just find pickoffs, try and avoid those 5v5 clashes, abuse their mobility to counter Navi's superior brute force.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, even though you want to go for push strats with like a mass Necrobook strike, if you focus on just winning one team fight, then suddenly with the Necrobooks, you push that much faster. So if they win a team fight, they're almost guaranteed to get Raxes, where a team with less pushing power wouldn't actually do so off a good team fight.
Yeah, the tier 2's still up mid. They still have glyphs, so maybe they have to win 2 from this point, but later on in the game, it could be just 1 fight to rule them all.
We do have to keep track of this Medusa. Havost now going to have a Manta style, it looks like 22 minutes into the game. Lincoln's Manta. Many
have made the mistake of giving Medusa free farm in the past. You go back to the old days in 2010, the ZSMJ days even.
Yeah.
This is only the legend of Medusa is if you give her farm, you lose.
This is only the 2nd time I feel like in the 6.7, like since Deuce's been added, where I've seen like just this true rice farming, turtling Medusa. The first time was Sylar with Rising Stars, and they actually lost that game. As good as Medusa is in the late game, and like you kind of said, one of the best late game carries, I agree with that, except with new items, like Heaven's Halberd completely shutting down Medusa, because Medusa's not a BKB carry here, and I feel like that's one of Medusa's biggest weaknesses.
And Chain Hex. It's a game where maybe you just get a BKB anyway. Like, sure, it's not the best item, it's still not a horrible one.
And then the problem is, like, you've got Lincolns, which is such a great item for Medusa, but if you're getting Lincolns and BKB, then where's your damage output? So
he'll have a couple other item slots. I think he'll still hit hard, but I think for Na'Vi also, like, it looked like the tempo was all theirs. Just losing that 1 fight near Roche, they gave up. They didn't get the Ancient stack. They gave up the Aegis. The graph drips like 3,000, but it's much more just the momentum that dips for me. Now Liquid are farming more confidently. Na'Vi are playing more defensively. They have still the superior team fight. They have still the harder late game carry, but do they ever get to execute that combo?
Yeah.
It seems like they're struggling as of now.
Yeah, it's hard to count on a team who has that Medusa in a game that's this slow pace and looks to be going a good 40-50 minutes. You've got to say, well, Medusa on paper should win, but Liquid definitely have their options. They've got the Aegis on their side. They've got a Hex now on the Tinker, and this is a big pickup for Liquid.
Koikfa, what is his record here? Because I feel like he's 3-0-2. I think he got a couple kills in that last fight. 8 minutes ago, he only had the Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger, Soul Rain. He's farmed a Hex in a very short amount of time.
Yep.
That's impressive. And this could be the item that turns the game. This plus a Shadow Blade on Alk. Now Na'Vi have to be much more cautious about their split push and their, you know, trying to out-push Liquid. I don't think that's happening anymore.
Bo5 Shadow Bladed up, looking for Funnick here. Not going to find him anytime soon. And, well, maybe actually will. Funnick is still lingering around. He hasn't quite been spotted. I feel for Na'Vi, this game obviously going late game, and that's where Puppey going for the mech and pipe is nice and all, but I feel like the pipe was just a bit too much. Going for more like a BKB, which is much better in the late game, would have probably been a better way to play this.
Yeah, I don't think he was banking on that fight at Roche going so horribly is the main thing. Now
Oh,
Bulba going to
Funnick.
stun himself. Kuroki, though, doesn't have any detection, did not see it happen. Meanwhile, though, it is Quakefa caught out by your Blade, Melt, Clockwork, nowhere to run. He does drop a Scythe, but he needs a Chain Frost to the face. Pipe keeping everyone in fighting shape. Now Havost on the chase as well. He's got his ultimate. He'll pop it now. Fluff. If he turns, then he runs into the other Liquid heroes. Great use of that Stone Gaze. Meanwhile, it's Dendi hunting down way too. This is going to be 3 dead if he gets off one more Boulder Toss. Should be a kill. Cyclone's there. No Boulder Toss, but now he has a clap. Oh, he's worried about a troll trap, perhaps? No, there's backup coming
in as well, so he does not want to fight this. In fact, he's going to go on the run. He's going to blink TP. Maybe blinks to the enemy base for that TP.
No, he wants to kind of stay near the area. No, okay.
Oh, his team actually, yeah, that's a...
Is there a troll trap?
His team were coming, but...
Yeah, there's a... Bulba's going to self-stun again, and he walks into the cogs.
Na'Vi going
Not
to
his
disengage,
day.
though. They haven't got... These 3 heroes are the 3 with the least damage output, especially when they don't have the Chain Frost up. So, with Dendi backing off and with Medusa off farming once again, they don't want to continue this fight. But Medusa suddenly 2k gold on top.
Boy. And she's got the gem that from Way 2. It looks like Way 2 dropped it in the last fight, so...
That was yeah, it was on Fluff. The Visage when they killed him.
Okay. So, yeah, Way 2 bought it at some point, but...
This
is
Blade Mail Clockwork, it's really nice.
It's really good against Tinker.
Yeah, you hook the Tinker, and even when you're just not hooking in, you just use it on the master machines. Tinker takes a lot of damage in.
You can hex him, but then you still just take all kinds of damage from Battery Assault. He may need to go back for a Force Staff, to be honest, which he'll be able to farm. I mean, he is Tinker with Boots of Travel Scythe. Quakefa, I wouldn't mind a Force Staff at this point. I mean, you could go just for something else like a Shiva's that makes you a bit more durable, but that allows him to split push with impunity, and then Na'Vi will have a much harder time killing him.
Well, Pugna picks up the Aghanim Scepter, so all these heroes start thinking about transitioning to the late game stage. Medusa's next item will be coming up soon. And even like your Lich, getting an Aghanim Scepter up, very, very close.
Yeah, where did Kuroki get all this gold? Just that he's 4-1-2, so he hasn't died. They've gotten towers, but I think it's mostly just
staying alive and
yeah,
I don't know.
And Puppey's been, I think Puppey might have been buying some of the wards this game as well. Yeah, staying alive mainly. The passive gold game.
All right, well, Liquid, they're kind of forced to just play back, and I do favor either of these teams. Like Medusa is obviously the big late game carry, but Liquid are playing very passively, but they've got the Tinker, and that to me is like a big X factor.
Yeah, and if he gets a Force Staff, then you can't rely on the Clockwork initiation. So we'll see. Na'Vi continue to farm. They have the scarier 5-man. I don't know if Liquid will ever be able to take a direct clash this game, but they're the kind of lineup that just wants to pull you apart at the seams. There was a Blink-In from Quakefa, hunting for Dendi, and also it's worth pointing out with the Scythe, they can maybe just kill a lot of these heroes before they get off their big ultimates. They might find Dendi here.
And it, like even Medusa late game, if Medusa's alone doesn't have the backup of like an Enigma Black Hole or a Clockwork Hook, Scythe of Ice means that's a dead Medusa.
Yeah, if it comes to an even 5v5 clash where everyone gets off most of their abilities, obviously Na'Vi's going to win that, but do they get that kind of a fight? That will be the question over the next 20 minutes.
The Necrobook Dota continues as Chen now with a Necrobook 2, so double Necro 3s.
Oh, they're hunting a Vost here. There's a Blink Scythe available. No, they don't want to go. Looks like he might have canceled the Blink Dagger with an illusion.
And the other thing is, Havos suddenly gets a whole lot killable because of Necrobooks. They work against Havos. Necrobook is actually a great item against Medusa. You burn his mana to get rid of his mana shield, and Split Shot, if it's accidentally killing Necrobook, that's problematic.
Hook shot gonna fly. Bulba, no way out for him, except maybe just running in. That's the way out for him. There's your Blade Mail. Bulba's gonna stun him. He had backup coming, but Funnick a little bit too far out. Reinforcements have arrived, and that'll be an easy kill.
Funnick's had 3 great games until this one, and this one he's just... It's being put on a roll which he can't really do much. Like, Clockwork against this lineup has to play so safe and passive, and there's just no easy kills. There's, in fact, like, almost no kills at all that he can get, and
it goes against his nature here.
Yeah.
He wants to be YOLO diving like he was on Timbersaw.
I mean, you could put anyone in this Clockwork, and they just wouldn't be able to find kills at all, so Funnick just getting a bit restless and just trying to make opportunities that aren't there.
He had teammates coming, but I think it's also just did not count on the quick reaction from Tinker. Here they go, though. They pop the Panda ult. And they're going to try and focus TC down
Puppy.
during this time. There's your boulder toss. He mechs up. He's going to try to life drain his way out of this fight. He gets sent home. He's going to live. Chain Frost will fall him back to base, but they continue to pursue.
Oh, nice
they Cyclone wait too. But it's a Panda ult solely for a Chen kill. And the tower was a deny. No, it goes to wait two as well there.
Okay.
Is that another Chain Frost? Wait. Did you see that?
I think he chain frosted creeps / ooh.
There's some sort of, okay, it's a visual glitch of some kind. The Chain Frost just keeps on launching. There's another one.
I think it's like with the TP out, maybe it followed after the TP.
Yeah, it did follow him.
Yeah,
but
then
it
it
like
bugs.
keeps on launching.
Yeah. Oh, it just catched. If
What?
TC died, it just hit TC.
Okay. That should not happen.
If he actually like was next to a neutral camp and he died
And
there,
just boom, 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 boom.
that would have been something.
That's clowny. I don't think that's supposed to happen. There's your Lich Eggs. Hey.
Yeah.
Level 13,
Oh,
hook shot in. Once again.
This is actually cool, I think, fun it can
yeah,
get,
this
though.
time Havost is here.
And this is the gem. He's lost.
This gem is being passed around like a hot potato.
Is this even the same? I think it's maybe a second gem by now.
Let's check the courier.
What happened? Medusa stole the gem. I guess they didn't leave one at base.
No,
so.
it's just this one gem.
Okay.
It's the gem that Liquid bought that just keeps on getting passed around like a hot potato.
All right.
And now Havost is a butterfly. Does he get to fight? He could be six-slotted. Maybe he never gets to hit a hero. I feel like that might be the way this game goes for him.
Yeah.
You might want to get like a blink dang or just blink stone gaze. You know, then you can force fights.
You've seen the solo Medusa in the MLG from Pretty Boy Swag. That was a cool strat.
The what?
Solo mid Medusa.
Oh, I didn't
They
see
had
that.
a Sven carry with a solo mid Medusa. They'd stone gaze everyone, and then Sven would just start
Cleave.
And they take bonus damage because it's extra physical damage. So.
That's a pretty cool pocket strat.
It was
I gotta
very,
say.
pocket strat. It was very kind of gimmicky. And the Medusa went for like arcane mech. And I don't know if it was arcane, but it was like a mech blink dagger build.
Bottom lane, we're going to see Dendy getting caught out here. Scythe number one. Familiar stun. It is dropped just in the nick of time. Another Scythe. But I don't think they've got the burst chain stun to kill him off. They'll try and chase
blink.
Dendy. He's got blink though. Whack-a-mole from him and a force staff, or rather blink to safety.
Trying to buy time for the Alchemist to get in, but Bulba couldn't quite get there in time. Nicely played by Dendy just to get away.
Yeah, he'll get away. Meanwhile, middle lane, Kuroki is just, well, maybe farms for his refresher now. He's got that Ags up.
Yeah.
I love Ags on Lich. Once you get to level 16, you have a 1 minute cooldown ult, and now this ult does significantly more damage. More bounces, as well as just hitting
Puppy's got a Shiva's Guard, it looks
sorry,
like.
casting range and damage.
So Enigma with a Shiva's Guard now, a Soul Crest picked up by the Alchemist. All these heroes just getting filthy rich, and we're 32 minutes in, so we are pretty much at that late game stage, but definitely feels like this is like all the supports who are getting rich. Like you're Lich with an Aghanim Scepter, you're Enigma with a Shiva's Guard. The poorest Na'Vi hero is actually the Clockwork, I believe. Okay, Lich by a small margin, but
barely. And you'd expect Clockwork to have way more.
And then Liquid, like their supports are pretty rich. Like your Visage close to the Aghanim Scepter, but Chen with a Necrobook 3+ mech, so.
Puppy went Shivas. He just said, forget about BKB.
Yeah.
I just want to be a tank. He's like a raid boss now, this Enigma. He's a beast.
Roshan respawning now. Both teams scouting it out. The Familiars for Liquid and the Clockwork Illusion for Na'Vi.
What an annoying Mexican standoff for both teams in this game. Like one team's fighting to March, the other team worried about the Clockwork
DD
hooks.
Medusa. This could be it. The Na'Vi even just tried to force the issue in the high ground.
This could just be a bazooka. Like, forget the Mexican standoff. You bring out your revolvers. We're coming with
You can't
a
send
battery
Familiars
ram.
in. Familiars will just melt to this, and I think they may just... They're not going to get racks here, I don't think, but they can definitely at least chip away and force Liquid to defend
He
this.
struts off. Oh,
Well,
this is a cute application of the Aghanim's
Yeah.
Pugna. You can instantly break that Lincoln's with the 0 cooldown.
DD is about to wear
Lifesteal.
off, but once your Medusa starts going 5-man down the mid lane, that's when you know you're maybe in a bit of trouble.
At the same time, bottom lane's pushing, top lane's pushing. I think what they really want here is actually Roche, but
Yeah.
if they TP back
They
to
can't get
defend, they could be in trouble. They TP the Dusa out, and Liquid should see this
Dendy.
Dusa and immediately
What?
start heading towards the pit.
Jenny, you've already got picked off once at bottom lane. This does not look well advised.
It seems like Na'Vi in general are just they want to hang near Roche, wait for Havos to push up bottom and come back, but it's leaving them without their carry here, and they do lack damage outside of that. Well, they've got Chain Frost, but outside of that, they really do lack damage in this fight.
Voss needs to make a beeline to the Roche pit.
He's going to come, but he can't walk his way through the trees here. It's going to take some time.
Boba channeling a stun. Can he actually get it off? They get the vision to the high ground. Kuroki stuns 2, in fact. Puppy as well. Needs a black hole to save this team, but Na'Vi.
They got the Panda ult off, though. Now Puppy, he marches in. Black
3
hole
heroes.
on the 3, but the instant blink sight from the Tinker going to cancel it. Isn't enough. Funnick hooks in as well, but there's too much beef in the
Here's
front
Havas.
lines here. Here's Havas. Here's Big Daddy going to work with the right clicks. TC low, nobody dead. And
Way
he can't
too
run
on.
them down.
15 HP he survives. It looks like Kuiper maybe on the Tinker's going to be the one going down. No, Blink Dagger.
They use
constantly
every
getting
ult.
disabled.
They use Panda ult there. They use the Black Hole. They gotta at least get Koikfa for this.
Come on.
One more right click. They slow him down. He's gonna blink. He's gonna force them. I think he's gonna live. Oh no! Is there a blink onto the high ground?
No, cooldown.
Oh boy.
They kill 0.
Okay.
Zilch.
They used Dusa ult, Chain Frost. No, they didn't get off Chain Frost. That was the one they missed. Clockwork Hulk, Panda ult, Black Hole. They got zilch. That is awful for Navi.
And even though the Black Hole did get cancelled by the Blink Hex, he's still got a good, like, second and a half of it.
Havos wasn't there for that, was the problem. If he's there, they get like 4 or 5 kills.
Well, Havos now, he got stunned up, he got revealed here. They know he's here. They may actually go for this kill. He's kind of somewhat trapped here. Puppy going to show up. He's got Pipe. Going to use that, but Havos still needs a way out of this one. Pops the Mansell. He's going to turn and fight. Puppy instead gets stunned up by the unstable concoction. And
he's dead.
No way out of it. Soul Assumption.
Oh,
Linkage
maybe not. The
blocks.
linkage just came off cooldown. It's going to keep him alive. Looked like he was dead, but
Tinker's
now
out
he
of
can't
mana.
fight. There's your Chain Frost.
Oh,
It was
not
still
gonna
alive,
bounce.
but quickly dodged by Bulba running to the left. It's not going to bounce, as you mentioned. Now Dendi.
Dendi survived. Once again, no one dying in these fights, LD.
But they got to go back now, I think. They're all too low to fight.
Navi, they cop a break there. I thought they were going to lose Medusa, Enigma as well. They really just got a bit caught out there. And luckily, Tinker ran out of mana, and Liquid just couldn't finish off the hero kills there. They really should have, I think, gotten more from that fight.
Now you're Dagon for Tinker.
Oh,
you don't get a BKB on Dusa.
Yeah.
E-Blade Dagon is going to...
This is a great item.
This is where Tinker
late
becomes
game.
a very fearsome late game hero.
Yeah, this is
He can
definitely
just
the way to
assassinate
go.
a lot of these heroes. Like, even Panda. You blink Hex, double Dagon 5 E-Blade him. If this goes on 50 minutes, he'll have it. He can solo kill Panda. You can solo kill pretty much anyone.
Well, Havos starting to work on his neck time, which looks to be a Skadi for himself. But even with a Skadi, that's not going to help him fight drastically. It's just like a small improvement to his stats, as well as giving him that extra bit of slow.
This is where Dusa, probably the most fearsome late game damage output of any carry, but relies on her team to set her up. She's not mobile like Anti-Mage. She doesn't have a big lockdown, instant disable ultimate like Chronosphere. She can't split push as effectively and quickly as a Phantom Lancer. Sure, she's amazing in team fights with this AoE combo, but they need to hit the combo with the Dusa there. They didn't do it last fight. It cost them, and now Roshan is dropping fast. Liquid are going to claim it. The Aegis will go to TC. So the Tinker off buyback.
Navi, they want to kind of engage here. Kuroki
Dendi, does he jump in?
No.
I think he's touched the stove once, Gods. He got Centaur stomped
Dendi's
before.
starting to work on his refresh rob. He's level 16 now. Have to see how his micro skills come into play with the new Aghanim Scepter upgrade. And Havos, Invis scouted out. The Necrobooks are there, but I don't think Liquid want to engage because Navi have everyone there backing up. And this is where I feel Medusa just isn't that viable of a carry option, just because you're, like you said, you're entirely relying on your teammates to set things up. Almost every other carry hero has some ways to do something on their own, be it like an anti-mage. It's not really getting kills on your own, but it's split pushing on your own. Your heroes like Faceless Void, obviously not very viable, but you have Chronosphere to actually get yourself and your team kills and set up team fights. Most carries can have much more self-sufficient than a Medusa is. Medusa...
He's gone Hex, though, and I love this choice from Avos, because I think that's what he needs. He can solo kill the Tinker, probably. You just Hex him right as you pop your Stone Gaze. I think this is a really clever item by him, because I don't feel they need more damage. They need just some way for Havos to be relevant and get to right-click heroes in fights.
They definitely need the lock. I don't know if he can... The Tinker's still very tanky. I don't know about getting to the point where he can solo kill him, but definitely it's going to add...
Definitely with a +1 he can.
Yeah, Navi, it's what they're lacking. That's where, like, Puppy not going for, like... I feel like he should have gone for, like, a BKB Hex type build. He's gone for all these teamfight defensive auras, but if you can't lock heroes down in place, what's his Pipe going to do? What's his Shivers actually going to do in a fight? And I don't think it's very much against a Tinker.
It is very awesome, though, to watch Puppy charge in and just tank every single spell coming his way. But
he makes himself and his team so much tankier, but if they're not getting kills, it doesn't matter.
Smoke's going to reveal. They know Quakefa's nearby. He blinks south, though. Have they guessed it correctly? No. They
gets out.
Now Dendi could be in trouble bottom lane. They can Boots of Travel onto these familiars, and they're going to do it right now. Hello, Dendi. Here comes your Alk Stun. It will follow him. Now he's going to get hexed up. Force Staff is actually going to send him back home. Is that Quakefa's fault? Yeah, he forced him back.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, Dendi's like, thanks, man. I was confused there. It's like, wait, there's no Navi heroes here.
I was worried for you too, Dendi.
Lol.
This is, for those, just for sake of clarity, the games are played alternating servers. Game 1, 3, and 5 are on the Luxembourg server. Game 2 and 4, this being Game 4 on USC's. Koikver, of course, being the European player for
He's
Liquid.
happy. He's pretty happy either way.
That was not servers. That's just a straight up misclick.
Yeah. That's
Servers do not affect misclicks.
well,
Like
when
that.
you're Tinker, you just get in this mindset of like, gotta press all the buttons really fast, gotta use every single ability constantly off cooldown, and he's just like, oh, let me force that him. Great.
I don't know why you need a like force stuff isn't like part of that combo. Like you're going for that combo kill. There's no force stuff involved.
Yeah, I don't know. What can I say?
I think it
guys?
was the wrong hotkey. I think it's probably meant to be the Dagon because he hexed and then he hexed and then instantly force stuffed him. So I think it was meant to be the Dagon hotkey, but he accidentally used the force stuff instead.
Yeah, I would have to see his hotkey setup to know for sure, but well, I don't know if they could have actually gotten that kill because this panda is quite tanky, and they were diving the tier 3.
It was right by the tower. I think Navi. I don't think he goes down regardless, but
Or if he goes down, then they probably lose 3 or 4 to do it.
Yep.
But hey, either way, Dendy lives. He'll be thankful for that. And where does Navi go from here? Like, Kavost is almost 6-slotted. He doesn't have much more room to farm.
yeah, and
I feel like they should be getting like mass boots of travel just so they can be more active around the map and come to these fights quicker.
well, then he's gonna have his refresh robe. I guess that's the next step. And then at that point, you can use the primal split just for solo kills, even on like supports. You find the Visage alone, you can pop a primal split for that kill when you've got a refresh orb. But well, Tinker, there's just who actually counters the Tinker? Hex is the only way to deal with him.
Clockwork, that's it. But he's got the force staff
He's
now.
so squishy, this Clockwork too. Like he's
If he gets if he hooks in and then just gets hexed, yeah, and he doesn't get blade mail off, the Tinker can just solo
This
him
is one of
anyway.
those games I feel like Navi should have gone for the mass blade mails because Koikba, 1500 HP.
Oh, they almost found him. He's playing with fire. Denny's gonna blink
close.
clap, but a quick double rearm from Quakefoot gets him to safety.
Like I feel like if Puppy has a blade mail as well as like your Brewmaster and your Clockwork, you can just straight up kill the Tinker whenever he drops March. But
And they could have maybe just pushed when they were pushing down mid earlier. If they have mass blade mail, Quakefoot did not have Yules.
yeah,
I don't know if he dies, but he can't drop 3-4 blade mails, and he would or marches, because then he would die, and he would have a harder time defending. But the game carries on, and it's honestly, I think again Navi win in a brute force engagement. But when is that ever going to happen?
well, Liquid continuing to avoid it. They just, I mean, it's not even really split push or rat Dota from them. They're just like, well, we're just gonna farm our jungle.
It's like finesse Dota for them more than anything.
It's just, yeah, they're the ones turtling and they're against the Medusa, but you can't really, Navi don't have the best straight up push line. They're going to maybe try finally make a go at it. Dendy, Refresher Orb, I believe, is en route, so if Navi want to go for a game-ending push, now is almost the time, but they've got to defend these other lanes, and Havos going to TP back. Like you say, Boots of Travel, probably going to be some of the next items that we see picked up by Navi.
Yeah, I think at least 1 Boots of Travel for your Dusa, but ideally I'd say you get 3 or 4, and you know, then start saving for buybacks. You can just buy back Boots of Travel into the fight again. You can push out the lanes, Boots of Travel into the fight, and it gives them more heroes at the point of attack, and that's really where they struggle, is like the fight earlier near Roche.
Oh, they've gone TC bottom. There's your Primal Split. I'd mentioned you can use this for solo kills, and
He needs a little
the
backup.
double clap. You get the second clap which from that Earth
Burst
Panda.
damage is legit, but now they're focusing Funnick here. Nice Cyclone from Denny. Now Funnick still going to drop there to the stun. And once again, there's no Dusa in this fight. Sure, they dropped their Panda ult, and that's cute and all, but he's about to come out of his ult.
Another
He drops
clap.
another clap. He needs that second ult. He gets chain stun. Dendy gets focused. No, he
gets
gets off
it
the ult. The quick rearm, rather refresh into the second ult. Now Fluff in
Here's
trouble.
Dusa.
There comes Puppy, looking for the black hole. He's going to catch out too. Has not caught Quakefa, but he doesn't have a blink dagger. He can't get into this fight. He can't do a thing to help his team. They're going to lose more off of this, and now critical mass has been reached. Way 2 on the run. Kuroki pursuing him out.
Tinker gets away lucky. If that Tinker goes down there as well, it's a big problem for them. Even with the buyback, Way 2 may survive this one, but what a big team fight from Navi. They still have to use the double refresher ultimate, and thank goodness
And a
for
black
Dendy.
hole.
He got that refresher ulti off. That was
He's still being
split
pursued by
second.
familiars. They could possibly kill him here. Double stun? No, it's not.
They'll farm some familiars here. Visage, familiar resummon on
He's
cooldown
dead
for
anyway,
a bit, but
so.
yeah, he's dead anyways, and they'll be brought down. So a bit of extra gold going the way of Navi.
Did Liquid lose their Aegis? I think they lost it right before that fight, right? Did they?
That was the first primal split. He killed the
okay.
Pugna in that first primal split, and then he respawned and came back in.
They really executed well there. Like they got off the boulder toss, the clap, and right when he's about to start life draining, the hook came in. So otherwise, I think he can life drain and tank through the panda, even with the fire panda aspect and the chance for critical strike there.
Well, the game rages on. 13 kills apiece. You're going to be one of your ultra late game Dota games. It feels like
And
neither team really budging at all.
And they might finally get some physical damage if it goes on. Bulba's got an MKB. I think he'll need a BKB, but
Yeah.
eventually. But hey, for now, he's the
This-
physical deeps.
Yeah, there's still limited stuns, and I guess Chain Frost you don't really care about because you've got the just raw HP and HP regen, but
What a fun tactical game this has been. You know, it really reminds me of like even that classic MYM Navi game from the Dota 1 days. It hasn't got quite to epic base race status, but
Funny hit the hook, but Tinker still TP'd out.
did he get stunned to Fountain, I guess? That's just...
Because Funny actually got the hook off, but it was like the exact second that he TP'd out.
That is... I feel like things like that shouldn't be able to happen. Like, if it hits you, that means you haven't TP'd out yet, and you should be stunned.
That would have been a kill as well. Koikfa didn't have... I mean, maybe he still has the 4-staff still, but I think they can maybe focus him down, because there was more heroes for Navi there, but they're not going to get the kill.
Even if he dies, he did a buyback, but force him to use that means there's no E-Blade coming out soon, and, you know, if he dies again, then you maybe just win the game.
All right. Don't know if you mentioned, but Havos has got a Daedalus. That's his next late game item.
Did not mention that. Well, he's can buy Boots of Travel, that's it.
At that point, he can't get... Maybe he sells his Lincolns and replaces it with that BKB if he feels he needs it, but...
I think the Lincolns is pretty useless because of Pugna. Like, he can just instantly life drain you, 0 cooldown.
And the Tinker has so many spells. Like, he can blink Dagon, then Hex, and then you're hexed up, so... It's not entirely useless, but it's definitely not going to match up to in ultra late game. BKB is always one of the best items you can have.
I mentioned the Boots of Travel for Navi. They'll get one on Havos now, but just what I meant by that was just anything that gives them mobility. So Blink Dagger on Puppey is great. 4-staff on Lich is great, because the reason they're losing these fights is Liquid just have more heroes in them because of the Tinker split push, and just because they have a global hero on their side. But you get mass Blink Daggers, mass Boots of Travel, mass 4-staffs, you can be everywhere at once, or at least try and keep up with that Tinker.
And Puppey has gone back for a Blink BKB build. I think he even goes for a late game refresher or but this game's going to go 60 minutes, having 2 black holes in a team fight. One maybe gets
two
canceled.
2 black holes, 2 primal splits. How do you lose that fight?
He needs to me, he needs to catch the Tinker. Even if it's only Tinker in the black hole.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the hero causing problems. Alchemist stun can't be used to cancel that.
Oh, way too. It's just going to be a casual Panda ult for the enemy Shen. And I like it too.
If fights break out,
a good ult.
You just refresh and you've got another one ready to go.
Right as Roshan's about to respawn. Now they're going to start backstepping the creep wave. The tower does fall to Vos.
Shen has no buyback, which doesn't sound like a big deal in the late game. That's no mech, no Necro 3, no Vlad Zora, no
for
Hand
one
of
more
God.
Cyclone. They have managed to Cyclone the Tinker. Can they focus him as he comes down from the Cyclone? Cogs get dropped. He's instantly going to get knocked onto them. Now the Hex comes out. Koikfa's going to die. Dendy's got a new ult, but no mana for it. He needs some mana boots here from his team, or he's going to go down. There's an instant buyback for the Tinker. I think Navi not having the second primal split could hurt them, but here comes Captain Puppey into the front lines. Black hole onto everyone, and Havost goes to town. 4 dead. It could be 5. It could be game off of 1 black hole. Holy shit.
Holy moly, that got the Tinker a second time. Only Alchemist left up. Navi guaranteed at least 1 set of Raxes. I think they get 2.
He just like ice skated into 4 heroes.
Oh, and it was with the Midnight Pulse down as well. Everything just lining up for Navi.
This is too much. Liquid, I don't know if I'd say this game was ever in their grasp, but they were hanging on in a game where on paper you think, hey, they don't have this late game against a 6-slotted Dusa, but all of a sudden they lose the Rax. Tinker's dead for 60 seconds. And this is probably 2-3 lanes of Rax.
Alchemist and Chen, they're not defending. What's Bulba going to do? You've got Lincolns to block the stun, and they kill the Familiars instantly. Easy pickups for Na'Vi. Alchemist, you can maybe stun Puppey and go for the kill.
Oh, yeah, maybe Puppey. That is probably the way to go, but there's a mech here. He's got a pipe cooling down. Is he going to live? Puppey dropping low, but Havos just pops the scythe. Get the hell out of here, Bulba. Who are you
Send
kidding?
back from Bulba, and this means these Rax is now exposed. Only the Visage respawning. Wager gets hit by a crit split shot arrow and takes a lot of damage. Now the Raxes go down. Liquid going to be down 4 Raxes. 48 minutes in the game, and, well, it was the black hole from Puppey setting things up.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many other spells and chaos in that fight. He came so late, too. Like, it's really hard to keep track of Enigma.
They threw so many eggs into the basket of just killing Dendy, not letting him get off that second ultimate, it felt like.
Yeah, and then there's your Deuce ult. Blink, clap, second Panda ult.
This is trouble.
If they die here, this is definitely game. And Havos is just murdering everyone. He almost gets the crit on way 2. One more right click, he'll bring him down. Now TC on the run, Fluff on the run. They just can't withstand the might.
Showing up. Koikfa wants to go on Havosi, but it's going to be forced back. The acid spray not going to be enough to help out.
Now they found Koikfa. Does he have a 4-step? He doesn't. Can't rearm here because he keeps on getting mini stun. He's going to go down. That's GG. No Tinker for 80 seconds.
Tinker is your late game 1 position hero. He dies again. They're going to lose the Alchemist, and this is going to be it. Na'Vi going to take your loser bracket finals. 3 games to 1, and what an incredible series from these 2 teams.
Yeah, Liquid, despite losing 3-1, they really gave Na'Vi a fantastic fight. This game, it looked like they might be able to turn it around. Na'Vi struggled with their execution in the mid game, but when it really mattered, when push came to shove, Puppey was there with the black hole, and on the back of 1 big team fight, you know, it was Na'Vi who just ran away with it.
Bulba going in once again. He's got no buyback. He's just used it. He's going to get caught out, and this is the end for Liquid. They're not going to call GG just yet, but your Medusa is still pushing, even with no HP. Na'Vi going to go for the Mega Creeps, and I don't see anything Liquid can do. GG is officially called, and that's it. Na'Vi going to the Grand Finals. They get a rematch up against Alliance. Best of 5 Grand Finals. Kudos to Liquid, though. They walk away with the 3rd place finish here in the WePlay Dota 2 tournament.
Yeah, they made a great run of it, did North America proud, but still, they are struggling to beat the 2 big dogs. Na'Vi, Alliance, when it really mattered, they do fall short, but hey, Liquid's going to have some time to improve here over the next few months as they get ready for MLG, they get ready for DreamHack potentially if they make it to the LAN finals, so it's all training and preparation for these major LANs coming up near the end of the year.
Yeah, it was a great showing. I mean, I somewhat doubted the Medusa pick, but Havost ends the game 9-0-6. Flawless play from him.
Yeah.
It took, like, he didn't really feel like he was involved in the fights until Puppey hit the black hole. Medusa entirely reliant on your teammates hitting their AoE lockdowns, and Puppey finally delivered. It was one black hole, but that's
they
all
had
you
like
needed.
a lot of insurance, right? They have 2 Panda ults, you have a hookshot cogs, you have your black hole as well.
You shut down one of those heroes, someone else is guaranteed to get something off.
The one thing I think Havost deserves a lot of credit for is diverting from the standard build for Medusa. Getting the Hex made the difference there. That was some extra lockdown, allowed them to kill Tinker the first time, forced the buyback, and it cost Liquid the fight not having Tinker for 2 real lives.
Wow.
Whew, what a game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man. These matches just keep on delivering for WePlay, I gotta say. It may not be the biggest prize pool, but the games have just been spectacular for like the past few weeks even.
The teams are showing up. I mean, even before we got to the top 4 teams in the playoffs, in that second group stage, the phase 2, and we still had the two groups of 4, we had incredible games all throughout. And a big thanks to the organizers, WePlay, as well as the sponsors, Inno3D, Western Digital, and Logitech for making all of this possible.
Yeah, big shout out to them. If you guys want to show them some love, you can definitely check out their Facebook, Twitter. We'll post some links in the chat after the game, but thank you all for joining us very much. That is going to wrap up today's loser bracket finals. It sets the stage for our grand finals. Na'Vi versus Alliance, best of 5. Yep. Date to be confirmed. I think we're looking at like sometime next week, possibly Sunday, but it's not confirmed yet. We will make an announcement. We'll probably look to do a little something extra for such an epic match.
Yeah,
but it should be good. So, guys, thanks for joining us. If you want to support us, if you enjoyed the broadcast, feel free to consider subscribing or just turn off ad block. We do appreciate it. You can follow me and Gods on Twitter, twitter.com/LDDota, twitter.com/BTSGods. But most importantly, thanks for sharing your day with us.
And
we'll see you.
Thanks for joining me, LD.
We got off to a little tense start here. You took umbrage at my comments that Alliance stomped Na'Vi in their last match.
Yeah, look.
I was like, ooh. It's okay,
had to defend the pride of Na'Vi here.
Okay. Well, they defended their own pride today, and they'll take this series. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Liquid finishing 3rd. And for now, it is LD and God signing off.